Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? I was thinking about something today that I want to share with you that was a real big part of my journey. And that was learning how to take my life back in control. And in this process, some of the things that I've learned and discovered in it. We, as trauma survivors, often have parents who are narcissistic, who groom us, who control us, who put us in this place of being enmeshed, that lead us to our adulthood in a place in which we cannot figure out how to control our lives. Part of this is what you have to understand is as an adult, we have been, for lack of a better term, brainwashed by our narcissistic parents and narcissistic people in general and other variations of general people, not to just pigeonhole any particular kind of person, into this place where we don't know how to say no, where we don't know how to say yes, where we don't know how to live life on our terms. Growing up, one of the things that I always experienced was not only my mother, my stepfather, and my grandmother, the direct people who I would consider to be the adults in my life, for whatever word that you can define as, were always doing whatever they could to get me to bend to their will. Now, I think to some aspect, and I don't have children, but I would have to believe that to some aspect, you have to set your children up for success by teaching them and helping them understand what is wrong, what is right, how to go about their daily life, how to understand the world, and how they should function as a human being. Now, that obviously was not the case scenario for many of us. That was not my case scenario. And because of that, what I found myself in was a situation in which I was not allowed to use my voice. I wasn't allowed to trust my intuition. I wasn't allowed to make decisions for myself. And I found myself, even as an adult, limiting what I was capable of doing because of the narrative and the self belief that they had instilled in me. When you think about this idea about being groomed, what it really means, and this is my interpretation of it, is that someone is creating a framework in your life to force you to understand the person that you should be, as opposed to giving you the space to explore the person that you could be. What do I mean by this? I remember once when I was young, I wrote my first book. I've mentioned this before, and I was like 9 years old, and it was a vampire romantic comedy. Hilarious, like it was super funny. It's probably still funny. I wish I still had it, but my mother found it and she destroyed it. And I've shared this story briefly before, but what I didn't understand then was not only the impact of the things that she was telling me that I could or shouldn't do, but the impact of understanding all the situations in which she was setting me up, as well as my stepfather and my mother, to bend myself to their will. Part of being groomed is getting put in this position in which, I hate to use this word, but I don't have a better way to phrase it, where we stop thinking for ourselves. Thus, this idea of being brainwashed. And so every time that you try or attempt to move towards the things that you want in your adulthood, you're often stuck or controlled.